Hey everyone, welcome back to Y4Tuber. Today, we're diving into one of the most important parts of international travel, immigration. You know that feeling when you step off the plane, excited to explore a new country, but you've got that one last hurdle. Immigration. Let's be real. Dealing with immigration officers can sometimes be a little nerve-wracking. You're jet-lagged, you just want to get your trip started, and then you get bombarded with questions. But here's the thing. It doesn't have to be stressful at all. The key to a smooth experience is simple preparation. Knowing what questions to expect and how to answer them confidently can make all the difference. Trust me, a little preparation goes a long way in ensuring a smooth and hassle-free entry into your destination country. If you're traveling abroad, you'll face an immigration officer who will ask you certain questions. Don't worry, we've got you covered. Let's go step by step on what they ask and how to answer confidently. Alright, so the first question they're going to hit you with is usually the most straightforward one. What is the purpose of your visit? They want to know why you're entering their country, which, let's be honest, is fair enough. Now, your answer should be short, sweet, and to the point. If you're there for vacation, tell them straight up, I'm here for tourism. Maybe you're there for work, then it's I'm here for a business meeting, or I'm attending a conference. Students, you'd say, I'm here for my studies, or I'm starting my course at university name. The key here is to be clear and concise. They don't need your life story, just the reason for your visit. And remember, always be truthful. Providing false information can get you into a whole lot of trouble, potentially leading to denied entry or even worse. Now, I know some people might be thinking, can't I just say I'm visiting family or friends, even if it's mainly for tourism? Technically, yes. But here's the thing. Immigration officials are trained to spot inconsistencies. If your story doesn't quite add up, they might start digging deeper, which can lead to unnecessary delays and complications. So bottom line, keep it simple, keep it honest, and you'll be good to go. Okay, so you've nailed the first question. Now they're going to want to know how long you plan on sticking around. Again, be upfront and specific. If you've got a return ticket booked for 2 weeks later, tell them, I'll be staying for 2 weeks. If you have a visa that allows for a longer stay, let them know, my visa is valid for 6 months. Easy peasy, right? The key is to have your travel documents handy and to be familiar with the details. Don't fumble around trying to remember when your flight is or how long your visa is valid for. Have that information readily available to show them if they ask. And here's a pro tip. If you think there's even a slight chance you might want to extend your stay, mention that possibility. For example, you could say, I'm planning to stay for 2 weeks, but I might extend my trip depending on my work schedule. This shows them that you're aware of the rules and are open to adjusting your plans if needed. Next up, they'll want to know where you'll be crashing during your stay. Have the address of your hotel, Airbnb, or friend's place ready to go. You can say something like, I have a reservation at hotel name in city area. If you're staying with someone, mention their name and address. I'll be staying with my friend's name, at their address. Now I know some of you might be thinking, do I really need to memorize the entire address? Here's the thing. It's always better to be over-prepared than caught off guard. Having the address written down somewhere easily accessible is a smart move. You can jot it down in your phone's notes, keep a printout of your hotel confirmation, or even use a travel app that stores this information. Why is this important? Well, it just adds another layer of credibility to your story. It shows the immigration officer that you have a solid plan and that you're not just winging it. Plus, let's be real. In the off chance they ask for more details, you'll be glad you have it on hand. This one's important, folks. Immigration officers want to make sure you're not planning on overstaying your welcome. They need to see proof that you intend to leave the country after your stated purpose of visit is complete. So, when they ask, do you have a return ticket? Be ready to whip it out like a boss. Have a digital copy on your phone, or even better, a printed copy. It just shows them that you're organized and prepared. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. What if I haven't booked my return flight yet because I'm not sure when I'm leaving? Look, I get it. You like to keep your options open. But here's the deal. Immigration officials might see that as a red flag. They might think you're not being entirely truthful about your intentions. So, my advice? Even if you haven't finalized your departure date, book a refundable ticket. That way, you have something to show them, and you can always change it later if you need to. Okay, this question can sometimes throw people off guard, but it's really just a way for immigration to ensure you can your stay. They want to make sure you're not going to be a burden on their system. Now, you don't need to disclose your entire life savings here. Just be honest about how much cash you have on hand, and mention any credit cards or traveler's checks you're carrying. For example, you could say, I have $1,500 in cash and a Visa credit card. Keep in mind that some countries have limits on how much cash you can bring in without declaring it, so it's always a good idea to check those regulations beforehand. And here's a pro tip. Avoid flashing large wads of cash. It just makes unnecessary suspicions. Keep your money secure and only take out what you need. Remember, this question isn't about judging your wealth. It's about ensuring you have the means to support yourself during your trip. This one's a simple yes or no question, but it's important to be truthful. If you've been there before, tell them when and for what purpose. For example, you could say, yes, I visited back in 2018 for a vacation. If it's your first time, just say, no, this is my first time visiting. No need to overthink this one. They might ask follow-up questions based on your answer, like what you enjoyed about your previous visit, or what you're looking forward to experiencing this time around. Just answer honestly and keep it brief. Okay, folks, let's talk travel insurance. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Do I really need travel insurance? It feels like an unnecessary expense. And look, I get it. Nobody wants to shell out extra cash for something they might not even use. But here's the thing. Travel insurance is like that friend who's always got your back, even when you don't think you need it. It can protect you from a whole world of headaches, from medical emergencies to lost luggage to canceled flights. And you know what? In many countries, it's not just a good idea. It's actually required for entry. So, when the immigration officer asks if you have travel insurance, you better believe you want to confidently say, yes, I do. Have your insurance policy handy, whether it's a digital copy on your phone or a printed version. They might not always ask to see it, but it's always better to be safe than sorry, right? Plus, it just shows them that you're a responsible traveler who's prepared for the unexpected. Alright, this question might seem a little personal, but it's just another way for immigration officials to get a better understanding of you as a traveler. They want to know your background and whether your stated purpose of visit aligns with your occupation. Keep your answer brief and professional. You can say something like, I work as a software engineer, or I'm a teacher, or I own a small business. No need to go into a detailed job description. Now, if you're a freelancer or self-employed, be prepared to provide some additional information. They might ask about your business, your clients, or your income. Just be honest and straightforward in your responses. Remember, they're just trying to get a clearer picture of your situation. This is another one of those questions where honesty is the best policy. If you have family or friends in the country you're visiting, tell them. You can say, yes, my cousin lives in New York, or I have a friend I'm planning to meet up with in Los Angeles. If you don't know anyone there, that's perfectly fine too. Just say, no, I don't have any relatives or friends in this country. Now, I know some people might be hesitant to mention connections because they think it'll make them look like a higher immigration risk. But here's the thing. It's better to be upfront about it. If they find out later that you weren't truthful, it could raise red flags and make your interaction more complicated than it needs to be. All right, folks, we're in the home stretch. One of the last questions you're likely to hear is about restricted items. Immigration wants to make sure you're not bringing anything illegal or potentially dangerous into their country. Now, before you even pack your bags, it's crucial to check the customs regulations of your destination. Each country has its own list of prohibited items, so make sure you're familiar with the rules. Common no-nos include things like firearms, drugs, certain types of food, and large amounts of cash without declaring it. When they ask if you're carrying any restricted items, confidently say, "No, I have checked the guidelines and I am only carrying allowed items." And if you're unsure about something, declare it. It's always better to err on the side of caution. Remember, folks, the goal here is to make this process as smooth as possible. By being prepared, honest, and respectful, you'll breeze through immigration and be on your way to enjoying your trip in no time. And that's it. Immigration is easy if you are prepared. We hope this video helps you travel with confidence. Remember, a little preparation can go a long way in ensuring a smooth and stress-free immigration experience. So, do your research, pack smart, and most importantly, relax. You've got this. If you found this useful, hit the like button, subscribe to Y4Tuber, and share this with your travel buddies. See you in the next video. Safe travels!